Hello everybody, welcome to another video. This is something different. I am going to go over with the new recent Jason being added Dead by Daylight. Now, if you watch trailer, which I'm guessing most people have, you notice it's Jason universe, not Friday 13th. Now, I know they're rebranding, they're basically redoing everything, but I grew up with the Friday 13th movies, and I know that some people, a lot of people, mostly on Twitter, figured, don't like how he looks. And that's very understandable. I don't like how he looks. I'm just glad, honestly, he's in the game, but I don't like how he looks. How he looks not processed as the other killers. He looks rushed. And it looks like they literally just took something, drawed it, and then painted in the shape whatever color they wanted. It looked very AI, and I will say that it looks very does not look like got any love into it. But before I get into my stuff, I'm going to talk about his powers and stuff. One, his main power is called Omniscient Evil, and it's stealth. He mostly just teleports. Jason Jason operates similarly by teleporting the omniscient entity, allowing him to traverse the map, teleport to sorry, distant pallets or windows, and stalk survivors. When he enters the mode, he becomes undetectable, moving with incredible map mobility. It is basically the spirit walking, but it how do I describe this? It's basically just the spirit walking, but every time you come out of it, you get this like jump scare mechanic where they'll scream, they'll reveal themselves, and it's just a whole thing. And then his second ability is impaling projectiles, which a lot of the killers seem a lot like Huntress in a way, which I don't mind it. Jason, I don't see it in him. We had Springtrap, and Springtrap threw his axe, and then we have a bunch of throwable killers. Personally, can we get something different? It's always that, and then I haven't played it in a while, to be fair, and I'm definitely going to play it when Jason comes out. But his second ability is impaling projectiles. He could throw debris like a spear-like weapon mid-chase and thrown oh my god, projectile and strike survivor, and they are pushed back or injured, and if they are slammed against a wall or obstacle, they become impaired and trapped in a place until they break free. So basically, whenever Jason throws it, there's a chance you know how Wesker throws him 30 feet? Well, he has the same way, but with his little spears. And whenever they hit a wall, they get stuck there and they can't do anything about it. But which I kind of like that. I kind of like that mechanic where it's around the map. Now, I did read where he could take apart hooks and throw hooks at people, which is pretty cool. I do like that mechanic a lot. I just wish Jason being a character that throws things, I like it, but at the same time, I don't because he does throw a lot of things in the movies, but it's random. It's not always one weapon. And I get his main weapon is the machete. That makes sense. I get that fully. But there should be a thing where whenever he grabs, it's a different weapon each time. It could be an axe, it could be a shovel, it could be spear, it could be that uh, fence thing they had in the sixth movie, I believe. But it does make sense it's scrap too. And it's around the map, and he could take apart hooks, I believe. I don't know for certain, but I believe. Let's get into his design. Now, his design, I don't like it. It seems very rushed. There's no love put into it, and that's how I feel. I don't know the people of behavior. They can do whatever they want to it. It is perfectly fine. It's up to them anyways. But what I can tell you is his mask doesn't feel normal. Actually, now thinking about it, it looks a lot like the Fortnite skin that they did. I think a year ago. It looks a lot like the Fortnite skin. Honestly, it looks like they just copy and pasted it. And then the reskins don't look bad, but I'll get into that later. His mask seems very bland and flat out saying it. It just seems bland. And his reskins, they just keep the same mask, but it's just I don't know. Yeah, there's details. There's that coral skin where he has like coral growing on him. There's the drowned skin where he has a shovel instead of machete, which is pretty cool. And then there's the woodland skin or something like that, where he's wearing a flannel shirt, and it just looks like a lot like that one skin from fucking Overwatch. Not gonna lie, but let's get into the big part where what I don't like. Now, Jason, I grew up with Jason. He's Friday 13th was my movie. I did like Friday 13th the most out of all the slashers. There's Freddy Krueger. I never watched Halloween that much. Jeepers Creepers, Pinhead, all of them. But Jason kept close because they kept it simple. They didn't change how they killed him because he never really died in the movie. He just he's going to come back because it leaves out a cliffhanger, like all the old 19 whatever movies. But he always came back, and when he came back, it was always different. You didn't get used to one design. In the first one was his mom, but let's not talk about that. In the second one was the one with the bag in the head. That was, okay. And then the third one is when he gets the hockey mask, and he looks okay. Looks a little off, but what do you expect from a 7 foot tall guy who knew nothing about his knew nothing about how his mom died besides watching her get her head cut off. And then 4, which is one of my favorites personally, is where he has one droopy eye, but his mask is yellow. He has his cut in his head, and there's blood coming out of the cut. It's pretty cool. But is that 4? Yeah, that's 4. And then 5, Jason's not there. It is Roy Burns. No, not Roy Burns. Is it Roy Burns? Whatever. But besides that, that's the one where the blue streaks. Then here comes 6. 6 is where he came back from the dead. Tommy Jarvis brought him back from dead, which Tommy Jarvis killed Jason the first time in 4. But he brings Jason back on accident, and he's just, you know, Jason just kills him. Then he drags him on the lake at the end of the movie. Then 7, he comes back, shocker, and they do this carry thing, whatever. But the point where I'm getting at is his design was different in every game or movie. I mean, his design was different in every movie. The mask was different. How he looked was different. They made sure to not make you stay to this one look. Yes, he had the hockey mask and the suit, but they were always changed in each movie. And that's why I'm afraid what Dead by Daylight is going to do is that they're not going to change it, they're just going to add stuff onto it. See what I mean here? They're going to keep the same palette, but they're going to not change it up just a little bit. Hell, I would love to see a movie skin in the Dead by Daylight universe or whatever. I would love to see the one skins I do want to see, which I feel like they have to at least have two, where he has the bag over his head. That's uh nostalgic as hell. They have to have that. I would love them I would love to see four, but they don't really need it because I understand why they wouldn't have four. And personally, my favorite is Jason Goes to Manhattan, which they kind of teased it in the teaser where he's on the bus, but he's not a skin. He Personally, I think that one looks cool. He stays to stereotype. Jason X, I would love to see him in the store. Would I ever play as Jason X? No, but it's a fun skin. And then maybe remake Jason, but you know, you have to. I don't know. You don't have to do anything. I'm not telling you what you should, what you shouldn't do, but you need to make sure that you're reaching out to all the people that, and I get why a lot of people are mad. I really do get why a lot of people are mad because they're like, "Hey, you need to do this. This isn't Jason, blah blah blah. This is why I hate Dead by Daylight. They do this, blah blah blah." Jason, he is a character. He is the slasher besides Michael Myers. So we're not talking about him. We're talking about Jason. But you need to you just need to look at the fans, or not the fans, the source material. You need to make sure you can keep the old design or the new design, but you need to not make it where it just looks, oh well, I just added some coral on him and now he looks different. No, you can't do that with this killer. You can do it with Trapper, Wraith, all them, but you can't do it with this specific killer just for the fact that he deserves the more love that I feel like that they didn't put into him. His power, I feel his power's underrated. Not gonna lie. And I know when you probably play him, he's going to be overpowered, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get this one Nia going, oh, well, but you just need to give him some love. You need to show how he's appreciated and, you know, give uh I don't know. And I'm surprised he doesn't have more powers. Not gonna lie, I figured they'd do a lot with him. But no, they just threw something together real quick. I don't know. That is my opinion, and my opinion why people don't like it. But, of course, I have no say in this. And I am going to go ahead and have a good day. And you guys go ahead and have a good day, or good night, or good morning, or whatever, whenever you're watching this. Just remember that, Jason's being added Dead by Daylight. Play him, and then have your own opinions about him. And go ahead in the comment section, go ahead and tell me what you guys think about him, because I genuinely don't know what other people think about him besides what I've seen on Twitter, and I've barely seen any good feedback on him besides the PTB lobbies. Who cares about him? Literally, who cares about the big Dead by Daylight YouTubers who are getting early access? Literally, half of the big Dead by Daylight users are focused on, just being toxic. Literally, most. I am saying most of them. But that's it. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.